So I have a really big complaint today. We purchased a pergola from Yardistry, Y-A-R-D-I-S-T-R-Y, Yardistry, and it's a company, and I guess they're based out of Canada, and they're supposed to make really cool pergolas, right? So my husband and I spent a couple weeks researching pergolas because we just got our backyard redone. We have a house. We finally were able to afford to put concrete back here. We wanted a nice pergola because we tore down the old one that was on the house because it was like a fire trap. So we did all this research and we went with Yardistry. And Yardistry is also contracted through Costco. So you can buy their stuff through Costco too, but we didn't. We went direct because we wanted to make sure that if there were any problems, we had the best customer service. And they were supposed to have good customer service. I watched the videos and everything. So I get out here with three grown men and we're trying to assemble these things. One, directions suck. Two, the wood is splitting. It doesn't line up. The holes are misaligned. This is $4,000 pergola, by the way. I've never spent that much money on something like this. A $4,000 pergola. And so there are some problems with it. And then we get to the roofing pieces. See on here? On the roofing pieces on the corner, it started to split as soon as we put the screws in. So I have no confidence in the integrity of the structure and the roofing because the wood is already dry and split. I found the manufacturer's plaque in the box, and it says it was manufactured in 2023. So they sent us something that's been sitting in a warehouse for 2 years. Usually not a problem, except for this wood is so dry that I can pick up a stick with a finger. Like, look how dry this is. Look, like that's nothing. That's 3 huge pieces of wood all together. It's cheap. It's cheap trash. So we call them up and we said at first, hey, we want replacements for the roofing wood. And because the roof, I don't feel safe with that wood that you sent us. And they said, oh, we need pictures and all this stuff. Okay, fine. So I sent them all the pictures. And then it took a couple days. So I sent an email and I was like, hey, we're expecting rain. This is Southern California. It doesn't rain often, but we're expecting rain. And I think this should get resolved before the rain comes because all of this material is sitting out and I have nowhere to put it. No response yet, right? So it rains all over. This wood is so saturated that it absorbed the T-nuts. See? Like that's waterlogged and saturated. And look, see that? Look how misaligned all that is. The bolts snapped off, like 8 to 10 bolts snapped off. The wood is split, it's waterlogged, saturated. And some of the bolts they sent us, these ones were almost snapped off. I don't know if you can see how crooked they are. Like they're all wonky and crooked because they were about to snap off. And we were using hand sockets to tighten this stuff. We weren't using power tools. We were following the directions. So then I said I want the whole thing replaced because the water got to it and I don't feel safe. And I feel like if I paid $4,000, I should get what I paid for. So we get on the phone and Megan's like, well, Megan's the person I was emailing. Well, that's a lot of stuff to request. So I'm gonna upgrade that to my manager. Nikki was the manager. And so we get on the phone with Nikki and Nikki's like, oh, well, I don't think we can do a refund. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can only replace parts. And I sent her probably half the parts needed, like a huge list of stuff. And I was like, it needs to be fully replaced. I'm not confident with anything you sent me in the shipment because it's all trash right now. And so she's like, oh, well, I got to go to my finance department for that. So she says, I'll call you back tomorrow. And so she didn't call us back. So I called her back today and she's like, oh, well, yeah, we can issue you a refund, but you need to disassemble it and put it back in the boxes so we can pick it up. I am not disassembling this and putting it back in the boxes. I've had this thing for 2 months and the boxes are all wet and waterlogged all over my yard. I said, I'll cut it up with a saw and bundle it up with duct tape and you can pick it up that way. She goes, hold on, puts me on hold. Comes back and says, I talked to my warehouse. We'll only accept it. It can be bundled up, but you cannot cut it with a saw. I was like, why? Because you want to resell these crappy parts to somebody else? And she's like, well, the warehouse said you can't have it cut. It all has to be in the original pieces or blah, 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 right? How it was shipped. So apparently they want to reuse these parts. Okay, they're going to kind of come get their refund, but they're going to reuse anything that they get back that they can put into another kit and reuse. So this whole rant is to let you know that don't buy from Yardistry because the parts you get are probably old. They're probably pieced back in from another refund they had to issue. And this is probably an ongoing thing. And had I seen a message like this, a video like this for Yardistry, before I hit the purchase button for almost $4,000, there's no way I would have went with this company. So this is my consumer's warning to anyone out there that might be wanting to spend this kind of money on something nice for your yard. Don't get it from Yardistry. Get it from another company. Yardistry is a Canadian company. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm going to get my refund. and I am going to buy American. So, Yardistry. Ugh.